In today's fast-paced world, the integration of automation, artificial intelligence, AI, and cybersecurity is becoming increasingly important for driving economic growth. Experts say these technologies are not just buzzwords, they are transforming industries and shaping the future of work. Automation and AI are making significant strides in sectors like manufacturing, finance, and supply chains. For example, predictive maintenance powered by AI can significantly reduce downtime in manufacturing plants. In finance, AI algorithms are enhancing risk assessments, making them more accurate and reliable. Meanwhile, in supply chains, AI-driven inventory management is minimizing waste and boosting overall competitiveness. Cybersecurity is another critical component of this technological revolution. As businesses become more digital, the need to protect against cyber threats and safeguard intellectual property has never been more urgent. Well, founder and principal architect ICIT Solutions, Kamar Oyenuga, joins us now for a chat on how to leverage automation, AI, and cybersecurity to improve national productivity and economic growth. Good afternoon. Many thanks for joining us here on
Good afternoon.
Great. Now, despite having Africa's largest economy, our productivity per capita remains low. Now, which specific automation technologies could deliver the fastest productivity gains across our key sectors?
I'll put it like this. Our businesses are competing against the global market. If our small businesses aren't leveraging AI and automation, the rest of the world is, and they'll be eating our lunches. So the goal is to try to get these tools, which are now ubiquitous. I mean, they're very accessible to the small business all the way down to the MSMEs, and educating our MSMEs on how to leverage this affordable technology to actually help them do more with less. So the more they do, the less the advantage, the less competitive advantage that the other global economies are actually going to have against ours, which will actually help boost our economy.
So looking at the AI world, there have been calls and concerns about having an AI world without borders, calls for regulations, concerns about privacy, concerns about, cyberbullying and all of that. Now, recently there was a lawsuit about an American woman who said her son, 14-year-old son, got obsessed with an AI character and then he committed suicide. These are some of the issues that has come with the adoption of AI. How do you think all of these challenges can be tackled while adopting or presenting AI to communities and people who are yet to adopt it?
I still think it still boils down to education, because we need to take those lessons learned and apply them to the current AI environments to make sure that we are protecting for the future. I understand that whenever you have new innovation, there's always going to be challenges, and we always will have to just learn from those challenges and move forward. But we cannot say because we're going to have challenges, we can keep pushing forward and pushing the boundaries of technology and innovation. So I wish I can tell you that we can fully protect ourselves, but we really can't. We can't we are literally basically, this is a new uncharted territory. So there's just a lot more that we don't know, and we're yet to know. And as we know, we are definitely, I trust the companies that are actually in the forefront of this technology innovation to be able to take all those lessons learned to actually apply to to what we call the VNext, the next iteration of these technologies, to make sure that they prevent from all of this type of issues. And the reality is there's going to be more issues, but we just got to keep forging ahead.
Okay, well said. Well, like you said, if we don't evolve, the rest of the world will eat our lunch. I think that's what you said earlier on in your opening statement. But the reality is that most Nigerian workers lack digital literacy. So I'm wondering, how do we automate without creating mass unemployment? Because that's one of the things that people are usually scared of. The AI is going to replace me. So how do we automate without creating mass unemployment? And is there a realistic timeline that we can have that done?
I have a friend that kind of gave me this perspective that yes, AI is here to stay, but the problem is not AI. AI is not going to take your job, but the person leveraging AI to do his job will. So it boils down to education because, like you said, digital literacy. And that's really what the problem is, and that's what we need to solve for. We just need to make sure that we all are educating our masses on the use of AI and the advantages of AI. AI cannot, what we call AI today has been around for a long time. It's called automation, but it was the first level of automation. Now we're basically now at the second level where we're actually now giving these automation tools the ability to solve problems and actually make decisions. But we still need the human to be able to direct and train these tools to be able to actually solve those problems. So there's always going to be the human element. It's never going to go away. But if I'm a business and I have an individual who is digitally literate and is able to actually use AI to basically allow us to do more with less, and I have a person that might be very good at their job but doesn't really have those AI skills, I'm always going to go with the first resume or the first CV. And I think that's actually the education that we need to really get to the masses now, that you need to upskill and make sure that AI is part of your upskill curriculum, because we can't be stagnant. We just have to basically move to the V next.
So in practical terms, how can SMEs, small-scale businesses in Nigeria or similar economies adopt automation without incurring prohibitive costs?
Oh, I mean, we do this all the time at ICIT.ng. We help small businesses adopt AI at a very affordable cost. And I mean, we have this conversation all the time with our customer base. Oh, this is too expensive. I'm just an MSME, I'm an SME. But there's so many platforms out there that has made this very ubiquitous, very affordable and accessible. And Microsoft, for example, we're a Microsoft partner in Nigeria, and we help a lot of businesses from your big organizations to your small one-man band, law firm, or any kind of organization to actually allow for them to use Microsoft tools to automate their processes. Because at the end of the day, it's all about automating repetitive tasks that you don't have to do so that you can focus on bigger and better things to grow your business. And that's where automation and AI shines, and it's very affordable. I mean, I've seen AI businesses leverage AI tools for about 10 to 15,000 naira a month. And just a one-man, retailer that basically retails out of is flat on a website and leveraging Microsoft technologies to do it. And it's not just Microsoft. There are other tools out there that you can really easily leverage, easy to use, easy to manage, and it comes within the full, the price that a small business can afford. I mean, with the economy in Nigeria right now, I don't think you can afford to basically hire an employee that works 24/7, doesn't call in sick, for about 20,000 naira a month. I mean, and that's what you get with an AI agent. With a lot of companies out there, they've actually made it very affordable. They're actually giving these tools to the small business so that they can have the ability to compete with the giants of their industry.
Well said. I know throughout this conversation, I think you've focused more on SMEs and MSMEs, but are you considering digital transformation in public service? That's a premise to my question.
Yes, it's definitely something we look at, and it's definitely a necessity for the public sectors to also innovate.
Now, based on what you just said, how do you plan to go through the government agencies that still operate manually and seem committed to the ways they've always done things? How do you overcome bureaucratic inertia to implement digital transformation in the public service?
I mean, this is a worldwide phenomenon, by the way. I was an advisor to the United States White House Business Council back during the Obama administration, and we were having the same conversation. And they had the same resistance because bureaucracy always is very, very resistant to change. And I'm having the same conversations with some government agencies in Nigeria as well. And I can say I have to give this administration credit. They are actually forward-looking. The people administration has actually been looking into technology in various ways, and I think they actually have a lot of plans to invest in the public sector and actually leverage technology to be able to deliver services to the masses, to the public. And we'll see how it goes, because at the end of the day, it's still a government bureaucracy. It doesn't change easy. It's a big Titanic that doesn't move out the way of the iceberg, easily. But we all learned the lesson, right? If you don't move out the way of the iceberg, it's gonna pretty much end up crushing you. So, and I can say with confidence that I really feel like this administration is doing just that.
All right, let's stay a little bit more there when it comes to deploying AI technologies to running government. How practical, or how do you think AI can help to accelerate decision making, and when it comes to government, education, healthcare, and other sectors in the economy? For instance, recently there is the call for an amendment that's been going on, the amendment of the 1999 Constitution. Also, there's the issue of the budget, that doesn't run during the period which is supposed to run. It's supposed to be a January to December, budget period and all of that. Can AI help in any way to maybe speed up, accelerate all of these decision-making processes?
One thing about AI is it has the ability to use historical patterns to predict the future. And when it comes to these kind of conversations, what's the government trying to do? Is to basically plan for the future, right? That's really what a budget is your future initiatives. And that's where AI shines. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of predictive analytics, is to take our historical data and see where we lack and what we should be investing in the future. It takes time for individuals to kind of sit down in a committee and try to figure all of this stuff out. But with leveraging AI, it kind of makes the decision easy for the community, because all of the data is already aggregated for them. And it's just a matter of, okay, we need to be invested in this, this, and this. Okay, this is where we're lacking. These are the areas where we're lacking in education. And this is based on other parts of the world. This is how they're actually solving their problem. I mean, ChatGPT pretty much is the knowledge of the entire world, right? On the internet. And leveraging ChatGPT, for example, to actually help identify gaps in technology, in education, healthcare, and other government services, and comparing it to how they're problem solving for these gaps in the rest of the world. It's basically ChatGPT doing the government homework for it, and it's just a matter of them basically kind of copy-pasting it and turning it in and actually making it applicable to the Nigerian, to the Nigerian society, because every society at the end of the day is different. We can adapt what works. We have to take maybe what works in Belgium or what works in Vietnam and try to basically understand the Nigerian culture and kind of fit it into it. And that's what the committee will be doing if we leverage technology rather than them trying to basically kind of, like they say, kind of cook the stew from scratch.
Fantastic. Context is key.
Yes.
We appreciate your time and insight here on Newsday. Founder and principal architect, ICIT Solutions, Kamar Oyenuga. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you very much.